6 women, 1 track, and a race that will have you on your feet. The women's 400 meters. Final. This is where legends are made and dreams either soar or shatter. Look at these athletes. The focus, the fire, the controlled fury behind every eye. Femke Bol and Justyna Swiety-Ersetic push hard from the gun, and the entire stadium feels it. This is not a race you fast forward through, this is the one you rewind. Who claims it? The answer is 40 seconds away. Femke Bol of the Netherlands in lane 6. Just 21 years old, she has already lowered the Dutch national indoor record to an astonishing 50.63, a mark faster than Sonja Richards-Ross ever ran indoors, and she arrives here as the clear favorite with pace that belongs on a completely different level. Jodie Williams of Great Britain in lane 1. She made her 400 meters indoor debut back in 2021 and has been growing into the event ever since, with a personal best of 51.73 that shows just how far she has come. Andrea Miklos of Romania in lane 2, a European under-23 bronze medalist who fought her way through to this final and brings the kind of big meat grit that you simply cannot underestimate. Lieke Klaver of the Netherlands in lane 3, she finished second behind Femke Bol at the Dutch Indoor Championships, and her personal best sits well inside the old Dutch indoor record that stood for decades. Healy of Ireland in lane 4, she was outstanding in her heat and semi-final, winning both with authority and proving she belongs right in the thick of this final. Justyna Swiety-Ersetic of Poland in lane 5, the reigning European outdoor champion and home crowd favorite. She set a new Polish indoor record of 51.34 earlier in this very competition and will be pushing hard for gold on home soil. Into the blocks. Here we go. They are off and Femke Bol fires out immediately, putting raw speed on the field within the first 20 meters. Swiety-Ersetic pushes hard on the inside, but Bol was already pulling clear through the first bend. Klaver tracks her Dutch teammate in lane 3, and Healy is working hard off lane 4. Through the back straight, Bol simply stretches the gap. That stride long, controlled, and absolutely punishing for the rest of this field. Klaver surges for second and briefly makes it interesting, but Swiety-Ersetic is feeling the pressure badly now. Williams and Healy are scrapping hard for every position as they come off the final bend, and Bol drives through the straight with another gear the rest simply cannot match. Femke Bol wins it, 50.63. The Dutch teenager throws her arms out wide and that smile breaks across her face. Pure joy, pure relief, pure brilliance from Femke Bol. 50.63, that is the European lead and it matches the Dutch national indoor record she herself set. Swiety-Ersetic takes silver on home soil and Jodie Williams crosses for bronze with a stunning personal best of 51.73. What a final. Look at Femke Bol, soaking every second of this in, and she has earned every single cheer. Just 21 years old, primarily known as a 400-meter hurdler, and she just ran a flat-speed race that seasoned specialists dream about. She handled the heats, the semi-finals, and this final on a tight indoor track in Torun with the composure of a seasoned champion. The scoreboard says it all. Watch this in slow motion and you see exactly where this race was decided. Off the gun, Bol's reaction is sharp and her drive phase is exceptional. Full extension, arms pumping in perfect sync with those long legs. By the time they hit the first bend, she already has daylight. Look at the posture here. Head steady, shoulders relaxed, hips driving forward. That is textbook 400-meter running at the highest level. Through the back straight, Klaver makes her move and for a brief moment looks like she might make this a contest. But watch Bol's stride pattern. She never panics, never overreaches, never tightens. She keeps compounding the advantage relentlessly. Swiety-Ersetic tries to respond, but the ground she needs to cover is simply too great. Into the final bend, Bol finds another level of acceleration that is staggering for a 400-meter runner, let alone a hurdler by trade. Coming off the bend, she is completely upright and running free. Williams and Healy fight hard in the closing meters, and the battle behind Bol for medals is its own separate war, but nothing catches that Dutch teenager out front. The confirmation is in, 50.63 for Femke Bol, and that moves her even higher on the all-time indoor 400-meter list. She came into this competition wearing the blue bib as European leader, and she has just gone faster still. Jodie Williams clocks 51.73, a lifetime best for the British athlete, and that is the kind of performance in a final that announces you have fully arrived at this level. Credit to every athlete in this field for the quality they produced tonight. If Femke Bol takes on the 400-meter hurdles outdoors this summer, what are we going to be watching? The flat speed she has shown here is extraordinary, and combined with her natural hurdling ability, the ceiling on this young woman is simply impossible to put a number on. Femke Bol, European indoor 400-meter champion, 50.63 European lead. She's only 21 years old, and the world of athletics has absolutely no idea yet just how good she is going to become. Remember this moment. 50.63. That's not a number you throw around casually in an indoor 400. Sonia Richards-Ross, one of the most decorated 400-meter runners in history, never broke 50.70 indoors. Femke Bol just did it at 21 in a championship final on a flat track as a hurdler. The race was over before the back straight. That's the honest assessment. Bol came out of lane 6, and within the first 20 meters, she was already separating. Not dramatically, not with some explosive burst that you'd replay 10 times. She just ran at a pace that nobody in this field could match, and she maintained it. That's the thing about Bol's style that gets missed in the excitement. It's not acceleration that kills you, it's the fact that she holds pace on the back straight that others simply can't sustain. By the time Justyna Swiety-Ersetic registered what was happening, the gap was already a body length. There was no tactical error from Swiety-Ersetic. She ran 51.41, a time that wins most European indoor finals. She just ran it against the wrong person on the wrong night. Technically, Bol's curve mechanics are what set her apart here. She's tall, longer-legged than most 400 runners, and on a tight 200-meter indoor oval, that usually costs you. Tall athletes bleed time on bends. Bol doesn't. Her lean into the curve is precise, she keeps her hips high, and she doesn't overstride trying to compensate. Through the first bend, she was already upright and driving, not fighting the track. That's coachable on paper and nearly impossible in practice at that speed. Lieke Klaver, her Dutch teammate in lane 3, ran 52.03 and showed flashes. She moved for second through the back straight and held it briefly, which tells you the Dutch program is genuinely deep right now. But Klaver couldn't hold the pace into the straight. The gap back to Swiety-Ersetic closed again, and ultimately Klaver finished fourth. Jodie Williams took bronze in 51.73, a personal best. That's the real secondary story here. Williams has been hovering in the 51-point range for a couple of years, good enough to make finals, rarely good enough to medal. Tonight, she medaled. She didn't run a tactically clever race, she just committed to her own pace off lane 1 and grounded out. Phil Healy of Ireland ran 51.94 in 6th, which is a solid performance that will probably get overlooked. Andrea Miklos in 5th at 52.10 was always going to struggle from lane 2 against this quality of field, and that's how it played out. No shame in that result, but no surprises either. Context matters here. The all-time indoor 400-meter list is a short document of exceptional performances. Jarmila Kratochvilova ran 49.59 in 1982, and that mark has stood for over 4 decades. Below that, it gets very thin very fast. Richards-Ross ran 50.70 in 2010, Olga Kotlyarova 50.67 in 2004. Bol just put herself at 50.63, third on that all-time list as a 21-year-old in her first major senior championship final. She's a 400-meter hurdler. She ran this as a secondary event. That framing is important because it's also the ceiling question. If she commits to the flat 400, what's the number? If she goes back to hurdles, she's got arguably a bigger margin for improvement there. It's a genuine dilemma, and it's a good one to have. What comes next is the outdoor season, and specifically the question of whether she lines up in the flat 400 or the hurdles or both. The European Championships are on the horizon. The World Championships loom beyond that. Bol is at a point in her career where she's not developing anymore, she's arriving. The difference is real. Development means working toward a ceiling. Arrival means you've found a level that other athletes have to respond to. Swiety-Ersetic, the reigning European outdoor champion, ran 51.41 tonight, and it wasn't close. That's the new landscape for anyone in this event. Bol at 50.63 indoors in February, not fully specialized. Whatever she runs in July outside with a full preparation, the conversation is going to be different, and the rest of this field knows it.